Hi everyone. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this video of this little girl. She's sleeping, like it says right here, my little girl Amaya, peacefully sleeping until her favorite song comes on. So, just take all this for what it's worth. But to me, there's something really strange, and I don't know, we should watch out for these things that can wake a baby up and kind of involuntarily move. So a lot of people think this is so cute, and it is cute in some ways because her sister here is just laughing hysterically at the baby. But I hope you know that the technology for music, sound, and all of that has advanced so much. They know exactly the tone, the the how to modulate it to reach our brainwaves and do things to our minds. And it's really obvious what's happening with little kids. So just a review, watch this little kid when the music comes on.
네. 오빤 강남스타일. 강남스타일. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자. 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자. 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자. 그런 반전 있는 여자. 낮에는 너만 따사로운 커피 식기도 전에
So obviously it's having an effect on her brain, and she's reacting involuntarily. And I remember reading a couple of years ago about sound studies and research that DARPA or some research labs were doing, and they can actually use sound and make it bounce around corners or clash and create apparitions, like ghosts looking things and stuff like that. So the new one, well, here's one that I looked up. I typed in DARPA sound creates images because I was trying to find the former thing that I read, and I couldn't find it. But just look at all these titles. DARPA creates sound-based fire extinguisher. So what I'm trying to say is that sound is really powerful. Music in popular culture is really powerful, and it can make babies involuntarily respond, which is, so to me that wasn't really cute. It looked kind of sad, and the baby didn't really look that happy. She just looked like intensely stimulated, excited. So we don't know what's really going on with all this sound or how it affects our minds and kids especially. So DARPA, yeah, they're using everything. They're using light, they're using sound, and here, a voice only you can hear. DARPA's sonic projector. Okay, so and they release this information so we know. Okay, to January 29th, 2012. So technology is advancing at an exponential rate, so we know it's going farther and farther and farther. Okay, here's an article from Scientific American, although see what it says right here, the views expressed are those of the author and not necessarily those of Scientific American. But this article is all about the power of music, mind control by rhythmic sound. And you know they want to get kids. And anyway, you can read this. I will put a link so you can read it because it'll take too long to read the whole thing right here. Anyway, it says right in this part, the mystery runs deeper than previously thought, according to psychologist Annette Shermer, reporting new findings today at the Society for Neuroscience meeting in New Orleans. Rhythmic sound not only coordinates the behavior of people in a group, it also coordinates their thinking. The mental processes of individuals in the group become synchronized. So that's when people walk into a room and there's a lot of music playing, but it does wire our brain. See, the finding extends the well-known power of music to tap into brain circuits, controlling emotion and movement, to actually control the brain circuitry of sensory perception. Now that's pretty powerful, to control the brain circuitry of sensory perception. This is just incredible. But we know it. The brain's decision making was accelerated by the external auditory rhythm and heightened at precise points in synchrony with the beat. So I hope you understand that popular music right now, they totally are aware of the power of music and how they can alter it or align it to their aims and goals of how it affects the brain. So it's shaping people's brain circuits, and in that way it can control the brain. Okay, now here's another one. Oh wait, just a second. Okay, yeah. This one, this is from What's Trending. So they show a few clips on other babies having responses to music. Okay, watch this.
This baby is ready for a perfect storm. That's right, this baby is crying. Just crying, 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 crying. And the only thing that will stop the baby from
Ready for a perfect storm.
crying is a little Katy Perry action. Check it out. The title of this video.
Okay, now did you see that? That's instantaneous. Instantaneous reaction to Katy Perry Dark Horse. And she doesn't look that comfortable. She's got a really distorted look on her face that everyone is saying so cute. I don't know if it is or not.
Video is How to Stop a Baby from Crying by Katy Perry Dark Horse, which isn't exactly a clear title, but once you start watching this video, you know exactly what's up. All of a sudden, it goes from sad to extremely happy. It's almost like a little baby, like mini spasm. Like, this baby is stoked to hear Katy Perry. Is baby spasm not a good thing to say?
No, I think it's...
Okay, is this baby stoked or controlled? Remember, Katy Perry, she's totally one of their little puppets, and her music is produced by the, you know, the people who know what they're doing and want to control the world through these artistic venues.
I think it's fine. Katy Perry's song is shaking this baby. Like, don't say that.
Oh my god. Now, this video is so popular, it's getting a lot of attention. It's been featured on OK Magazine, Us Magazine, MTV, Good Morning America, and elsewhere. And it's A.B. Gift. already been jiffed. And Katy Perry herself even tweeted it out, and she says, available for babysitting at $10 an hour and 4 Oreos. I mean, she's very successful in her own right. Maybe she's being nice and letting YouTube keep the video up with her song for just $10 and 4 Oreos. Now, on YouTube, we see a lot of these videos. We've seen babies enjoying songs from Kid Cudi, Gautier, and even Lady Gaga. So this is a trend that's clearly not going anywhere because everybody loves a dancing baby.
Everybody loves a mind-controlled baby. So look at this one here.
Everybody loves a dancing baby.
What's Bob?
Okay, right back
Kid
here.
Cudi, Gautier.
Okay, this one. Does she look happy? She looks totally controlled and involuntary physical response, which is happening in the brain.
And even Lady Gaga. So this is a trend that's clearly not going anywhere because everybody loves a dancing baby.
What's Bob Marley Baby? You ever seen that one?
No. Well, Bob Marley makes me happy too.
Don't get your baby stoned, people.
And now we have comments. Tashi Watt comment.
What did he say? Go get your baby stoned, people? Okay, well, there you go. And then we have Timothy Trespass, who is a guy who I think he's suffered from mind control, stalking, voice to skull, and this is a little clip from a radio show. Timothy Trespass. I've listened to him before when I was researching the mind control thing because it is real. The voice to skull. Some people are barely surviving in their lives because they've got voices in the head that are beamed there through extremely low frequencies, microwave, radio towers, satellites. I don't know how they do it, but for them it's very real, even though people don't want to believe them. And also in California, a law has been passed to protect people who claim to be tortured by these types of airwave, crimes. And then somebody else just won a court case, but unfortunately that court case, there's no documentation. When I looked it up, it was on Before It's News. I looked it up, and that was Deborah Dupree. But there was no court number, case number, anything. So how can you show someone to say, hey, look, mind control is real, and someone run a case, but then there's no documentation? It just makes everything look fake. So you just have to decide for yourself, but I would watch out. Okay, now listen to this a little bit.
You go back to 1972, and you look in the congressional records, and I think it was in the middle of the year, there was Army representatives giving testimony in front of a congressional committee stating that there can be mind control waves that can piggyback human brain waves, and people think it's coming from their own thoughts, but they can be controlled. And they said that that was back in 1972, to the beginning of the Montauk Project. And they were saying how vital that would be for national security. So that's 37 years ago, and that was being discussed.
Right, and that's from the ELF.
And they knew that even back then, and so you can just imagine what they've done since that time.
That's right. That's right. And I told you about the time down in Lower Manhattan. There was a billboard, and it had like a speaker on top of it, and it was a billboard for some paranormal show that was on cable. And when you walked by it, all of a sudden you heard a voice in your head going, "Turn around, turn around. Do you believe? Do you all these people in the street just freaking out, and this billboard was advertising in their head.
That's really amazing.
Well, there's more of that, Anyway, the technology is there, and I hope you could hear that loud enough. It wasn't very loud for me. But 37 years ago and before. But why are people doing this? Why are some entities, the government or DARPA or the CIA or the FBI or Michael Aquino and the NSA, why are they doing this to people? Why do they have this goal and this intention to control people or actually torture them by filling their heads with words that say things like, why don't you just kill yourself, and stuff like that, and more bizarre things, of course. Well, it's probably because this world is being run by the prince of the power of the air. This evilness is here. It all goes back to the controlling prince of the power of the air. These are evil things that are happening. So anyway, look at this, Ephesians 2:2. If you have any questions, in which you used to live when you followed the course of this world, and you were dead in your trespasses and sins, in which you formerly walked. So people don't have to walk in the course of the world anymore, because it is moving along according to the prince of the power of the air, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's just like snatching up the most precious and innocent among us, the little babies. What does it mean that Satan is prince of the power of the air? And you were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the world. So, formerly you walked according to the prince of the power of the air. But now you don't have to anymore. You don't have to. Yes, you can be free. Anyone can be free from the prince of the power of the air if you resist the devil. Put your trust and your whole soul and life into the hands of God. Then you'll be ready for death, for anything, because it's not what happens, it's how you respond, and you respond by the instruction that God gives you and all of us to survive in this world. And even if we don't survive, then we know we have a promise of what happens after we die, and no one knows what happens when we die. So why take a chance when there is a promise of being in a better place after you die? The Bible is really good, and it has a lot of hope, and it has a lot of detail about the history of the genealogies and all these connections about the Nephilim and the Elohim and the giants and just all these other mysteries. But the gospel is simple enough for a child to understand, and that's where you kind of have to get into that space. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm trusting God the Father, the Creator, Holy Creator of the universe, because you're not going to know those answers either. But you get into that place where you just feel really safe and trust that each step that you take is God has gone before you and is lighting your path, even though you can't see the whole distance ahead. Well, okay, you guys decide for yourselves, but that's what I think, you know. I just think that this is really sad to see these babies being influenced out of sleep and then have these involuntary physical responses, facial responses, legs and arms kicking. They don't always look happy, they just look like they are incontrollably or uncontrollably stimulated. So who knows what's to come, because you know, cartoons, everything, it's coming at them in all ways. Let's see what's in the rest of this video.
She made me cry. The baby, okay, well that's a weird reaction.
You need to listen to
Yeah.
some Katy Perry songs.
Listen-
Cheer you right up.
What song would you guys play for your baby? Or do you know any babies that love any other Katy Perry songs? Let us know in the comments below. We love to see the conversation continue down there. Are you ready for?
If you had a baby, what song would you play for it to make it happy or calm it down?
I think I would want to start with some classical, relaxing, like Mozart or something like that. But if that wasn't doing the trick, maybe we'd move on to like Led Zeppelin or something.
This baby loves to get the lead out.
These look like little transhumanist babies, little robot babies. Don't like it. That's sad. Anyway, thanks for watching. God bless all of you with the truth that you find for yourself. Bye for now.